Oh. Hello, good afternoon. And we are going to go live to everybody on Zoom. I'm Jazz Tankay, Senior Artisans Editor at Variety. Thank you so much for joining us today, virtually and in the room. So excited to be here today for this press conference on The Handmaid's Tale. I want you to give it up for everybody as I call them out because we've got the incredible cast here. And of course, so let's welcome out Josh Charles, who plays High Commander Gabriel Wharton. Huge round of applause, come on. Eva Carradine, who plays Naomi. Sam Jager as Mark. Amanda Brugel as Rita. Madeline Brewer as Janine. We've got O.T. Fagbenle as Luke. Come on, I want this applause to be enthusiastic, people. Aunt Lydia herself, Ann Dowd. Serena, Yvonne Strahovski, and executive producer, director, June Osborne herself, Elizabeth Moss. I'm so sorry. I'm so excited to be here today.
Hello, everybody.
Hi to everybody in the room and virtually. I'm so excited. I'm also wrecked from that season finale, the series finale even. What an incredible performance from every single one of you. I mean, where to even begin? I mean, Elizabeth, congratulations directing episodes 1 and 2 and that, closing it out with 10. How are you? Let you take yours. How are you doing? How are you feeling today?
I'm good, thank you. I'm good. I'm excited to see these guys. I've been trying to ask every single one quickly what they've seen and if they've seen the finale yet, and some have and some haven't, and we're watching it tonight, so I'm very excited for everybody to see it.
Oh wait, raise of hands. Who hasn't seen the finale yet? Oh my gosh! Wait, so we're gonna have to change some of these questions because
I know. Wait, is that like
generally?
Now we shouldn't spoil things?
But we were there for it. I mean,
but how many? Okay, I'm going to take over. Sorry. How many people know the last scene though? That's the question. Yeah. See, only two of them.
Well, I got. If what you told me is going to be you told me.
You're supposing I told you the right thing.
Oh yeah, because I know what you
you
like.
told me the right thing?
No,
Double fake.
not.
Pump
I
fake.
think I know.
seen it.
I think
I
I
can't
do know
wait.
what.
I told you the right thing.
Like I think I know what happens in what was redacted. I think,
Right.
but I don't actually.
It's now everywhere online, so it's hard to escape it. Like I know what you say, and I know what your face does, just because of the
Should we
pictures.
spoil it for them, guys?
Yeah. It's all right. We're
you're all
gonna
good for spoilers. Okay, we're gonna go all
spoilers
in.
allowed.
Okay.
I mean, you could have changed things in the edit room. To your point, like
Change it before tonight.
Watch out.
All right. First of all, I want to welcome Josh Charles to this season because I was so excited when your casting was announced and what a character you turned out to be. Can we talk about how you got onto the show and were you a huge fan before it started?
Enormous fan of this entire group of actors. I think they're extraordinary, and I was thrilled to join it. I had worked with Lizzie before, and I was very honored that she asked me to come join it because I know how important it is to her, and it was great. I'm just trying not to fall in this chair. That's all I'm trying to do.
They're very slopey, aren't
The
they?
tiki torches didn't arrive, but we do have the chairs, and we'll always have them.
Love a director's chair. But Elizabeth, I heard you had something to do with Josh's casting, or you sent him an email. Tell us about that.
Yeah, when it came up, Commander Wharton came up, he was the first person that I thought of. And luckily, everyone else was very much aligned. All of our executive producers were like, oh my God, do you think we could get him? And I was like, well, I kind of know him. I kind of just worked with him. And I had a great conversation with him for about 90 minutes, I think was our first chat.
Yeah.
And it was actually incredibly helpful creatively to all of us, his questions and kind of things that he was probing and things that he was sort of wondering about as far as where it was going to go for the season. We actually ended up being able to incorporate a lot of that into the show, which was super, super helpful. So yeah, it was a no-brainer for me. It was just a matter of whether or not he was going to say yes.
Yeah, I was, like I said, just absolutely thrilled to come join. I mean, this group of actors, I love ensembles. I really do. And watching the show before I joined this group, it's just extraordinary work across the board. specific, grounded, clear, and that was very daunting to join. But Lizzie promised me everyone was nice, and they treated me very well.
Well, this show has had an incredible impact on everybody, audiences, and I'm sure all of you. So in a single word, I'm going to start with you, Josh, and work up the line. Like, what was the impact, or how would you describe the impact that Handmaid's Tale has had on you?
Can you start with ever? I'm nervous now.
Okay,
I already
One
talked.
word.
One word or a
One
sentence,
word.
maybe in a sentence.
Oh, thank you.
It's been the job of a lifetime. The honor. It's an honor to be a part of this show. I pinch myself every day. That's 3 sentences. Sorry.
I would say elevated. I have been what I've done as an actor and as an artist. This show elevated me. I feel like I'm a better actor now than I was when I started this show. So, and that's a testament to the people here.
I would say it changed my belief in myself as a woman, like my strength in myself, personally.
I spent that whole time trying to think of like a pun about an eye. And I think after 9 years, I've run out of them. No, this has been, I have grown up as Janine and with Janine. I've become a better woman and friend and daughter and future mother. Everything about life is better because of being with all of you.
Wow, it's beautiful. I think, I mean, there's so many words, but educated. I feel like I learned a lot about acting and about filmmaking and about politics and about, I think I came out smarter than I went in. I was already starting at a low bar, so some progress.
I would say the word is peaceful, because we all left it on the field, as they say, gave it everything we had, and we did it, and now it's over. So gratitude and peace.
This is hard. I mean, I echo what everyone said about becoming a better artist and a better person and more rounded, I think, in politics and everything that this show stands for and what it represents. And just, I think, an absolute privilege to have been a part of this and have these amazing artists to work with as scene partners and to have never died a creative death because of that, because of you guys and everyone behind the show and the mechanics of it. That's way more than one sentence, sorry.
Good answer.
I think I learned, or what I'll take from it is what these people represent here on stage, and also all the people who made this show or were a part of this show for the past 9 years have taught me how it's supposed to be, and how when something really matters to you, how hard you work at it. And I've been so inspired over the past 9 years seeing how important it was to every crew member and every cast member to do their absolute best work. And I watched it this final season, and it was the most extraordinary, inspiring thing to see the personal integrity of these people, that it mattered so much to them that they pushed themselves and do their absolute best work and leave it all out on the field, like you said. And that is when I think of this show, that's what I think of, not necessarily the storylines or the characters or anything like that. I think about the people behind the show and the people here on this stage and just the pure heart that they brought to it. And I hope it's just the beginning of many, many years of being able to work with all of you and all the people that we've worked with and continue working like this. I can't do it any other way now.
Josh, I'm coming back to you.
Oh, geez, I thought you'd forget. Because I joined this year, I'll just add, I was inspired by a group of artists who had been working together for close to a damn decade and still cared, still brought it, still loved each other. I mean, I've made a few TV shows. the fact that these people all really genuinely like each other, and there's surprisingly a lot of laughter on the show, is just a testament to the quality of people and the quality of actors and writers and crew.
Amazing. Okay, this is a question from Jeff Ewing, who says, the relationship between June and Serena hits an important part of the series. And what changed Serena's heart, and why does June make peace? Spoiler alert. Yvonne?
You mean when she helps me?
Yeah, I guess it means at the end.
I mean, I think June is the personification of the feeling and the knowledge and everything that Serena needed to understand. I'm not going to articulate this in a good way, but whatever Serena needed to understand about what she had done in the past, June didn't let up. And she also never stopped believing in Serena, which I think is an important part of this. It's not that she hounded her continuously in an angry way. It's that she truly, in a loving way, also believed that Serena was capable of coming around and changing. And although I personally don't necessarily believe that Serena was that redeemable in the end, because I have my own interior monologue about all this thing, but I do think that because June was the living embodiment of the effect and the consequences of what she had done, that she did come around. I think having a baby also helped in Serena's mind, because suddenly the stakes are a lot higher when you have a child. But in the end, I think this is what ultimately made an impact. And she truly, in that moment, understood that she has to do the thing that June's been doing the whole time, and that is make a brave and courageous decision that is truly difficult, not for her own benefit, but for the benefit of the greater good.
What was my part of it? Something about peace, was it?
Why does June make peace?
Oh, with Serena? I think because June, see if I can articulate this. It's for Noah, really. It's for her son. That she knows that he needs a mother who has been forgiven by June in order to be raised to be the man that he should be. And I think June also really believes in Serena, like I do. And I think I'm probably a bigger fan of Serena than you are. And I think it's more important that she is forgiven. It's easier for her to do that than to hang on to it. She doesn't need to hang on to it.
Beautiful. Anne, I'm going to start with you. This is a question from Romy van Krieken, who is a Golden Globe member from the Netherlands. What was the most important thing you hope that people have learned from The Handmaid's Tale?
Oh, boy. Never give up. Never stop resisting. What you love is worth fighting for, and you're never alone.
Dang, Anne, you killed the answer so hard. You really answered that question so well.
Up the mic there and just drop.
Thank you.
My goodness.
OT, did you want to add to it?
No, I want no part of it. It's perfection is perfected.
This is from Catalina Dugi, who is a Globes member from Argentina. The series remains the best example of how easy it is to strip women of their rights. Its relevance is real in many countries, including mine. Are you aware of the importance of your work in this regard? Elizabeth, do you want to start with that?
I think we have always been incredibly proud, honored, humbled by the recognition for that. It's something that we don't take full credit for, I believe. Hope it's okay I'm saying we. Please disagree if you do. Margaret obviously wrote this incredible source material and put this gift there for us to kind of pick up and continue to unravel. So we don't take credit for it, but it's something that I think we all have never taken for granted and respect very much, that we have anything to say about something that is, I think, deeply important to all of us.
I love that. How do you say goodbye to your characters at the end of 9 years? a year. Like, what was that process like, letting go? I mean, Anne, you technically haven't said goodbye, but but yeah.
Lucky me.
But how do you do that, Yvonne?
I mean, I think I'm still doing it. I think I'll be doing it until the fall when that feeling comes around where my body goes, oh, it's time to go to Toronto and be in the winter and play this character again. It feels really weird. This is really hard. I don't know about you guys, but it's a lot of unexpected grief to let go of the character. And these characters have been with us for almost 10 years. And a lot of us, like Maddie said, have grown, like throughout 30s or throughout whatever with these characters. And yeah, and so much life has happened as well. And the art imitating life and back and forth. And what I think, this is personally what Serena has taught me. Is just so much. I mean, it's just really hard. I'm going to be crying about it forever.
It's
I would
an unraveling
say,
of
yeah,
it's still happening.
it is still. I wouldn't say it's the character, because the characters, because we've had the just the opportunity to be with them for so long. I feel like Rita will always be with me. Like, I can summon her at any time. She'll always be with me, and just the physicality and just that's so internalized now. It's the saying goodbye to the people. It's the knowing that we're not going to have another FYC together. This group of people, that it's the saying goodbye to the we're never going to do this like this again. And so that's the mourning process, because, like, not unlike Josh said, we like each other. We really do, and we really have created such a strong bond, and that bond will hopefully still be there, right? Yes. Okay. Answer my phone calls. But it's the saying goodbye to the people.
Madeline, what about for you?
We've just seen, I think I was in such denial. I was like, I'm good. Like, it's been a long time. I'm ready to go. I'm good. We've been doing this for long enough. I've known this character. I'm ready to move on. When we started this job, my frontal lobe was not cooked yet. I was 24. I mean, and we've seen engagements and marriages and babies and divorces and hell yeah. And we've seen a lot of life happen with each other and for each other. And so it's like letting go of that. And also, like, when I did ADR for the final scene, my final scene, really with Charlotte, don't say Angela. I know you want to. It just hit me like a tidal wave, all the gratitude that I feel for this girl and this experience. And I'm starting to realize that this doesn't come along every day. It really doesn't. And like Lizzie said, I want to do this like this forever. It's the only way I want to do it.
Ever, what about for
And
you?
I'm unemployed now.
I mean, I'm going to echo a little of what Yvonne said. Like, so much of being an actor is like, we're like circus people. We're carny folks. Like, we go all these different places and meet different people. And this show has been like a staple in our lives for almost a decade. And these people have been a staple in my life. And it's been, it sounds so cheesy, but it really is like coming home. Like, going back to Toronto and being together with these people is like coming home. And so letting go of Naomi is much easier than letting go of all the experiences that we had and the thing that we all made together that I'm so proud of. And I'm so proud to be a part of this with all of you. I think you're all amazing. All come for dinner, lady, maybe tonight at my house.
Going to write a season 7.
Yeah.
We'll film it in our basement.
Please set it in Hawaii.
Abby, yes.
Coconuts and
I just
freezing.
wanted to add, being fortunate enough to have Lydia still in my life, I miss my family, my dear ones, and to be on set and look around and they're not there. I love them and I miss them. very much.
Yeah.
And there's an alarm ringing in my purse. How annoying is that? I do beg your pardon. And there'll be no more sharing of what that alarm is for. Pardon me.
I love it. What about for you?
Forgot what the original question was.
Saying, how do you say
Saying
goodbye?
goodbye.
Oh yes, I have not. That was my answer to Yvonne when she was like, "How are you doing?" And I was like, "Oh no, I just don't do it yet. I have not been able to at all. I think partially because it's shockingly and terrifyingly recent how recent we actually finished episode 10. We literally like did the final sound mix for it like I want to say 3 weeks ago. So it's very recent that we actually did finish the episode. And so I haven't had any time to even think about saying goodbye. I think tonight will be very cathartic for me to see 9 and 10 on the big screen for sure. But I also feel like you said, Mandy, like I just feel like the character lives on inside of us. It really doesn't die for me, but it is the people and working with this particular alchemy, this particular group that will be hard to say goodbye to. But we're just gonna have to do something again. I love working with the same people over and over. So I'm like, let's just get the band back together.
Let's do it. A year from today. Let's come back here.
I'll be submitting us for a season 7 for an FYC, regardless of whether or not there is
Can we
one.
make it the comedy musical version?
Well, obviously, that would be
Instead.
our version. Like Taylor's version. Sure. Yvonne and Lizzie's version. It's all music.
Yeah, lots of dancing.
All dance.
I was going to say dancing.
Wait, we can talk about the Fleetwood Mac scene in episode 10 and getting that moment was such a beautiful moment. Do you want to talk about filming that?
Yeah. Finding the song was the difficult part. It was something that Bruce and I knew that we had to agree on, and we had to agree on it before we shot it, which can sometimes be tricky. And he was convinced we were going to get into a fight about it. He was convinced it was going to be the thing that broke us apart, and we were never going to speak to each other again. Because we've managed to remain friends for 9 years, which is pretty incredible. We're an actor and showrunner, and I said we're going to be fine. We're going to be fine. We're going to be fine. And I found this song Landslide one night, and it came on, and I was trying to find a karaoke song. And I was like, I think this is it. And I texted Bruce. I said, what about Landslide, like the original version? And he was like, I cannot believe you just said that. Yeah, that's perfect.
Oh, wow.
And I was like, I told you we wouldn't get into a fight. And the filming of it was so cool, obviously. It was very meta because we were kind of working together in a group, us women that had not gotten that chance for a while. And so it was really fun and special. And I mean, God, what you see in the episode is just what it was. It was a beautiful moment for us, I think.
How do you, pardon my asking, how do you find the music? Where do you start?
I just looked on my phone. I just looked literally on like karaoke playlists on Apple. Yeah. One night when we were filming at the Red Center, I think when we were doing that big scene in episode 8.
Gosh.
Yeah. And I was in my trailer on some lunch break or something, and I was trying to find a track for karaoke. And that came on. I was like, because it needed to tonally fit the show, because I knew we wanted to play it outside of the karaoke scene as well. So it couldn't be something that might be a lot more fun for us at karaoke and that we would do, but it had to be something that tonally fit the show. So, and the lyrics, if you listen to those Landslide lyrics, you want to hear something fucking nuts.
What?
So the episode aired Monday, May 26th, right? Which was, right? Also Stevie Nicks' birthday.
No way.
Oh, wow.
Isn't that crazy? Wow. I know. I just found that out. It kind of makes sense.
You know she's a witch. Like that makes perfect sense.
There you go.
Meant to be such a beautiful moment and a perfect song. This is the question from Emmanuel. In what ways has working on the series changed you and your views about the world and the times we live in right now? I'm going to start at the end and work up. That means you, Josh.
You did get out of it twice. Now you had one pass.
What was the question? I'm sorry.
So it's from Emmanuel, who's a Critics' Choice member. In what ways has working on this series changed you and your views about the world and the times we live in right now?
Wow. That the world, when this show started and when I started working on this show this year, really seemed to kind of go in a complete circle. So I think just the idea that, history repeating itself and this story just seemed even more important and alive today. So I guess that would be it. That's a tough question for me.
It is.
The best I could do since you put me on the spot, Jazz.
You did great.
You did great.
Okay.
Ever?
I need you to repeat it because I was listening and then I forgot the question.
It's intense. In what ways has working on the series changed you and your views about the world and the times we live in right now?
Oh my gosh. Listen, when we started filming this show, Obama was still president. We were living in a very different America. And, I think Margaret Atwood says everything that's in the book happened somewhere. It's not fiction. She takes this from real life. And I think we used to have to look a lot further outside of our country to find the things that we see in this book. And now they are closing in on us in the states around us. And so I think it's really like, it comes back to June's quote of, even in a slowly burning, or you can do it better than I, a slowly warming tub, you're boiled to death. Like, keep your eyes open and stand up to injustice. I know it sounds silly, but I really think that the message of the show, resistance and hope, is from the beginning to the end of the series. And I think it's the most important thing. You can't give up hope. And you can never stop resisting injustice. You just can't.
I feel like one of the principles that we live by as actors is empathy. We are empathy machines. We gravitate toward understanding people that we would not have to try to understand in any other line of work. And the world changes in all these painful ways sometimes. And it is our job to try to understand where the other side lands. And for me, I just think as other people dig their feet in and try to hold on to the power they have, it's my job to try and entrench myself in compassion and understanding. And that's what we've done on this show, which is you get to see a character played so beautifully by Yvonne, a character that is so easy to hate. And you love her. You find ways of loving her. And that's the thing I carry with me about this show, is it is a way that makes you see the other side and how people make decisions.
You say you love her, you mean you or the character?
See all of the above.
Thanks, Anne.
For me, what changed how I view the work, and particularly the time that we're in now, is how important what we do is, how meaningful. And being an actor for 30 years, while I know our jobs are important, it was always kind of fluffy to me. Like, it's fun, we get to pretend, like Ever said, we're sort of puppets or we're a part of a circus. But it means something, particularly now, to tell stories, to tell them with integrity, for people to see an extended version of themselves fighting, standing up against something. And so what this show did was teach me the importance of being an artist, the importance of television, the importance of this industry, but particularly the importance of storytelling on a high level so that other people feel connected and they don't feel lost or silly.
Something that I have picked up and taken with me, which might just be very specific to Janine because of her relationship with June, but that is the absolute necessity of like sisterhood and of community. We pick up each other's slack. There would be no Janine past, episode 3 of season 1 without June supporting her and just holding her head above water. And I've realized that in our lives, especially witnessing global atrocities, you can burn out. And the way we continue to fight and stay in the fight and continue to resist is we hold each other's head above water when we ourselves are exhausted from fighting. And I take that with me.
Oh, that was profound. That was great.
I'm smart, OT.
Yeah, I know. I'm 7 years, and now I'm. So, what was I saying? Is I think for me, like Luke is he's a refugee. Like he's been forced out of his home by a brutal regime, and he's forced to immigrate. And another country has to take him in and say, "Yes, we see that you're suffering, and it's by no cause of your own, and we will make a home for you." And all of that is so real and relevant to lots of. And it's so easy sometimes to think of refugees as others or just people who are not like us. And I think it just gave me. Not that I thought like that, but it just being Luke really gave me a kind of much more visceral experience of like what it might be like to experience something like that, and compassion for where that's going all over the world right now.
And what about for you?
I was riding my bike in Union Square a few years into the series, and I saw a group of handmaids protesting. And I went to stop them. I just went to Lydia quickly, and I thought, they'll pay it. What are they doing? They're crossing in the middle of the street. And of course, they paid no mind. But what I learned from that experience is that you have to participate. It's not enough to do the show and feel great, although that's a dream. Boy, is it ever a dream. You got to get out and do something. You have to. It's our civic duty, if you will. And that's what I learned from watching those young girls out there. It was beautiful.
Wow.
What's the
Yes, you can applaud.
A little bit of what everyone's saying. I don't think it's every day that as actors or artists, like television actors, that you're sort of thrust into this role of representing politics and world events in a lot of ways. And I speak for myself. I certainly wasn't prepared to be thrust into this kind of a situation where we ultimately have had to, go deep within ourselves also, and have somewhat of an awakening, perhaps, or just a realization of how this show does imitate life, and where we stand, and how powerful art can truly be. I mean, it's such a reminder of why art was created in the first place. I mean, it's not just a creative expression, it says something to the world. And the fact that this show, starting with Margaret Atwood and what you said, Lizzie, and what we've been privileged enough to do here, and the symbolism that the show has taken on, and what it stands for, and how it connects back to us as artists personally, that's really been a beautiful kind of a thing to not just be part of something just because it's entertaining and fluffy and it's cool to watch or whatever. This really has set the bar in a very different way, and this show is truly meaningful globally because of what it represents.
Okay. I mean, everything they said. So beautiful in so many different ways. The only thing I could add, I guess, is that, I think you're sort of put with this group of people for 9 years, and we're all really different. I mean, a lot of us believe the same things and want the same things, but we all have very different experiences and come from different backgrounds and have different ways of dealing with what we want. And I think the thing that I believed before, but really saw making this show behind the scenes, and then also what was in the show as well, and which always inspired me too. I'm inspired by June, and I'm inspired by many of these characters, is how strong humanity is, and the different ways of fighting that these characters have, whether it's small, whether it's, sometimes Rita's smaller acts of resistance, remembering, you know, her family, and that obviously end in beautiful, much larger act of resistance for her, which is wonderful, to June's much more forward-facing acts of resistance. You know, Maddie with Janine growing into this fighter, you know, who gets her daughter back. You know, there've just been so many ways that I feel like these characters have shown how beautiful and strong humans can be. And I think it has left me with a very hopeful feeling for us. And it's because of these people and who they are off screen and what they've brought to their characters, which is a very, very real thing.
Beautiful. And the hope, definitely. You know, you feel that every time you watch it. So this is a question from Rick Hong, who is a Critics' Choice member, and this is for you, Elizabeth. Was there anything specific that you learned stepping behind the camera as a director on the series?
How important acting is. Honestly, that was truly the thing that I learned really early on. Like I had been, you know, like I had been acting for so long that for me, it became a little bit second nature. Not always easy. That's not what I'm saying at all, but definitely something that I've done for many, many years, like 30 years. And so I was like, kind of like thought I'd be like, oh, much more interested in the visuals and the cinematography and all the tricks and the cameras and things like that. And I am, and I was, but when you plan something with this really cool piece of equipment and it looks great, and then you have a close-up of Ann Dowd's face being Aunt Lydia and bringing you full Ann Dowd, you go, oh, the only thing that matters is Ann Dowd, you know, and that's something that and it's true, and it's true for all of these actors. I learned so quickly that when you have a good actor and you have that performance, that is the most important thing, and it makes everything work, and it makes things that you didn't think were going to work, and it makes things that you thought were going to work even better. They surprise you. I mean, giving notes or thoughts, not even notes, like thoughts to these actors, ideas to these actors, and then seeing them digest it. You go back to the monitor, you sit down and you watch what comes back out is like one of the most extraordinary pieces of artistic sort of brilliance I've ever seen. So I think that for me, that was the number one thing I still am astounded by, is just how important that performance is, you know?
Speaking of that, in the finale, I love the scene in the camp with Noah and June and Serena. Talk about shooting that scene, and Elizabeth, you working both as an actress and director to get this incredible performance and just that moment. Wasn't it one
Our last
take?
scene.
The last
our
scene?
last scene. You're talking about our last scene, right? Intent. Yeah, right? Like at the bus? Yeah, the bus. I gotta say that I knew we had the scene after her side, because it was a very difficult scene to shoot for really boring practical weather reasons. It was snowing on her side and then blue sky on mine. And so we had to bring in a snow machine on my side, and it was not pretty. It was a nightmare. But I was fine and relaxed because of her goddamn performance in that scene. I knew we had the scene, and I just had to kind of record my side of it and feed her the lines. Go ahead.
I mean, my takeaway from that day is the weather. It was
It's a very big part of the day.
And Sam was there. Sam was wearing a t-shirt and a little jacket. I was like, what are you doing? I was wearing 4 pairs of thermals squeezed under whatever else I was wearing. It was so cold. Couldn't feel my face move. But the scene, I don't know. Someone asked me about this scene just today earlier, and I don't want to say it's easy, but it kind of was, because we've spent, all of us, between action and cut, we have built these characters and built these relationships, and we have spent the time together more than what is on the show, because we do the scenes over and over again, and we digest this so much, and we have lived in these shoes, and we've just earned the emotions, I think. So by the end, and knowing that this was the final moment, and knowing that the character, at least for Serena, her journey this season was to get the forgiveness. I mean, it was, it just was all, it was all there. And to have an extraordinary scene partner like Lizzie as well. I mean, this has just been amazing to have
one of
had
the
this time.
one of the sweetest things about that scene is we were so rushed to do it, and yet we still have to get it right, even as cold as it is. And watching it, I was reminded, just watching the exchange and being honored to be in this moment with you two. I thought about my favorite quote is, "Life is an adventure in forgiveness." And for me, I see that that's one of the at the epicenter of that relationship, that we need that. And it's not so much about the catharsis of getting revenge on all these people who've wronged these women. It's about these women being strong enough to take that on and forgive and move on and ascend, I think, in a way.
Okay, this is a question from Critics' Choice member Samira Ben-Amor, and this is for you. The Handmaids has often mirrored real-world political shifts. In directing the finale, how conscious were you of current global events, particularly threats to women's rights, and how did that influence your approach, if at all?
Yeah, I mean, I think from the beginning, from reading the pilot, the reason why I wanted to do the show was because I felt like it was about this woman's absolute intent and need to survive for her children, and specifically for her one daughter at the time. And it's been the same for me the entire time up until the end, up until that last episode, up until that last scene. The show has always been about that for me personally. I think that I don't write the show, so I don't necessarily write to what's happening out in the world, but for me, the personal fight that June has of intending to have a better future for her children and for other people's children in the next generation, that's the entirety of what the show is for me personally, playing June. And I bring that into my directing. I don't separate June from being a director. I think playing her is probably my greatest strength as a director. So I like to take from it as much as I can. But yeah, it's always been there for me. It's never been different, whether I've been directing, producing, acting. It's always been about that.
Beautiful, amazing. I want to come back to something that Anne said about cycling through Union Square in New York. And seeing handmaids dressed up. And this is a question for anyone on the panel who wants to answer this. But has there been a moment, whether it's, seeing a moment like that that's really impacted you, or a fan reaching out saying, this has actually, changed my life? Has anybody had a reaction or that you were able to go for it, Madeline?
Particularly actually in season 1, might have been episode 2, birthday. It was that one, and then another one. Sorry, there's so many episodes. We've been doing it a long time. But I had so many women in my Instagram DMs just talking to me about motherhood, really, just saying I don't know if I could ever do that, or like the thought of having my child taken from me. It's really been in the comments, the real life stories of people relating to or trying to relate to the characters, and trying to put themselves in the shoes of our characters has been so beautiful to see them relate, and to feel like they're reaching out to understand us and this, and I think it makes the world a more beautiful place. Yeah, that has been, it's astounding every time. It floors me every time I read one.
The response to Rita this season has been overwhelming. Of at airports or on the street or DMs or just messages, mail, like handwritten letters of people who see themselves as quiet survivors. A lot of ties to cancer survivors, like just unexpected ties and bridges to people fighting in their lives, but fighting quietly and finding a representation of that on screen and feeling like they align with it, and then really just getting attached to the character and the story. It's been like overwhelming this season, and the personal stories that are shared quite publicly or the personal stories that are shared in the grocery store, and it's been beautiful. But you feel how necessary it is for people to see themselves. Again, I'm echoing myself, for people to see themselves and their stories being told, because people have been very emotional about it.
And also, I just have to add that in a post-Roe America, it has been an incredible thing to see these Handmaid's Tale outfits be the costume of resistance. It's sort of blown my mind, the same as you, Anne. Sometimes here in Los Angeles, one day someone texted me and they were like, there's handmaids hiking in Runyon Canyon. And I was like, what is happening? It might have been a Hulu PR thing, I'm not sure. But I just think it's incredible. I think it's been really a magical thing to see happen.
That's the impact of the show. Thank you for the show and your incredible performances and, the answers to your questions this afternoon, insight into your process. Thank you, everybody on Zoom, for tuning in, and to everybody in the room. And thank you again. And enjoy episode 10 tonight, the finale.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you so much.
Should have